Welcome to NarrativeNook audio tales where enchanted stories come to life. If you enjoy our stories, please subscribe, like and share to support our channel. Enjoy listening. That means we only have a few days left, right? Harvey took his phone out and flipped through the calendar app. I think so. I'm not sure what Nicole is doing. There has been no news from her since the day she left. It's quite disturbing. Harvey muttered to himself. She sent you a message? Harvey stared at Kelly in shock. Stunned by Harvey's unusually strong reaction, she replied, "Yeah, why?" It was only then did Harvey realize that he was getting too worked up. Thus, he quickly regained his composure and smiled at Kelly before saying, "Nothing. What did she tell you in the message?" "She informed me that she won't be coming back here for the next few days. Mr. Johnston has arranged a room for her somewhere else and it's a lot more convenient there. She asked me not to worry about her." "She's not coming back anymore? Where is the room that Mr. Johnston had booked for her?" Harvey asked as he frowned. "She did not mention," Kelly replied. "Jared Johnston. Why is he always ruining my plans?" Harvey muttered. "Mr. Harvey, are you okay?" Kelly looked at him, her brows raised. "I'm fine. I'll leave now," Harvey said, having no reason to stay there anymore, as he had already gotten the information he wanted. "Mr. Harvey, are you free later?" Kelly looked at him shyly. "Why?" "No, nothing else." Seeing that Harvey was not interested in watching the movie again, Kelly did not ask further. Harvey turned around and left her room with a crestfallen look on his face. Kelly was a little sad too. Initially, she thought that she would have the chance to catch a movie with Harvey alone. However, she had not expected him to reject her. "Forget it. I'll just finish what I have to do." Kelly switched her computer on and started working. After Harvey had returned to his room, his mind was filled with nothing but thoughts and mental images of Nicole. "She messaged Kelly and never bothered to tell me anything. That's a little too much." He picked his phone up and dialed Nicole's number. Nicole was focusing on her work, and when she heard her phone ringing, without hesitation, "Why are you calling me again? Didn't I tell you that I'm working? Do you want me to complete my work early or not?" Harvey was caught off guard as he received that telling off. He gulped and asked cautiously, "Who annoyed you for you to be this pissed off?" Realizing that the voice from the other side of the phone was not Jared, Nicole felt embarrassed at once. "I'm sorry, I thought. Who are you? How could you not recognize my voice already? I'm Harvey," Harvey said, perplexed. Harvey was becoming angrier too. Not only was he scolded, he was also left to deal with the notion that Nicole could not recognize him. He was so angry that he was about to hit a wall. "Oh, it's you." Nicole felt relieved. Thankfully, she had only lashed out at Harvey, thus lessening the embarrassment that she had felt. If it were someone else, she would have wished that the floor had swallowed her. "What do you mean, oh? Who pissed you off so much that you gave me an earful for no reason?" Harvey asked her, feeling wronged. "No one. Sorry for that. Excuse my sudden outrage. Why are you calling?" Nicole asked him in a serious tone. "Did you forget something?" Harvey demanded. "Forget something? What do you mean by that?" Nicole replied with a question of her own, as she did not understand what he had meant. "Before we came here, didn't you promise to bring me to the lab with you? Now, you've gone off on your own and left me aside at the hotel without saying a word. What is this all about?" Harvey questioned, his tone brimming with dissatisfaction. I'm really sorry about that. I've been terribly busy since the day Jared dragged me out of the restaurant. I totally forgot about it." Nicole apologized to Harvey on the phone. "Anyway, are you still at the hotel?" "Of course, where else would I be? Looking at the time now, I don't think you should be here today. How about tomorrow? I'll arrange for someone to drive you here," Nicole asked. Hearing that Nicole wanted to bring him to the lab the next day, Harvey began to smile again, after which he replied in a serious tone of voice, "Sure. Don't be late tomorrow." "That won't happen. The person I'm sending will be punctual for sure." You just have to make sure you're waiting at the lobby on time. Nicole could imagine Harvey's snickering at that moment. Don't worry about that. After he hung up, Harvey felt a lot more comforted. I just have to endure this for one more day, and I'll get to see Nicole tomorrow. However, it was then that a thought struck him out of nowhere. Will Jared be there too? Harvey sighed and slammed the table. Why did I forget to ask her about this moments ago? If Jared is there as well, I don't really want to go anymore. Asterisk. However, Harvey could not call Nicole and disturb her anymore. All he could do was pace around the room and think. Nicole, on the other hand, was engrossed in her work, and the moment she lifted her head, the sky was already dark. A sense of nervousness rose within her. If I head back later, Jared will definitely give me another lecture again. Nicole quickly saved her work and left the office. In the corridor, she met Ike, who was running after her. In truth, Ike had been waiting for Nicole to complete her task. He knew that she was busy working on the chip design at her office. Therefore, he did not enter the room and bother her. Instead, he sat in the lounge area and waited for her. Nicole. Nicole spun around the instant she heard him calling out to her. Ike? Why are you leaving this late too? Nicole did not expect Ike to work this late. You, as my superior, are still here until late at night. What makes you think I have the guts to clock out earlier than you? Ike joked around with Nicole. What superior are you talking about? You flatter me. Nicole and Ike walked out side by side. Nicole, is the chip design going well? Ike looked at her and asked. It's fine. There have been some minor issues every now and again, but I've managed to solve them. Nicole glanced at him and continued walking. You're amazing. You've only seen it once the other day and remembered it. I'm curious, how did you pull that off? Ike looked at Nicole with nothing but admiration in his eyes. I'm not as good as you've been led to believe. It's just that I have a better memory. Nicole replied humbly, as she could not tell anyone that she had a photographic memory. You're being a little too modest. Oh yeah, is Mr. Johnston picking you up tonight since it's this late already? Ike finally asked the question he wanted to ask. If Jared was not coming to pick her up, he would have the chance to send her back home. I'm not sure, Nicole replied, unsure as she had not received any messages about Jared waiting for her outside the lab. If Mr. Johnston is not here to pick you up later, I'll send you back. You won't be able to get a cab here, Ike said, expressing his intentions clearly. All right. I'll have to thank you for this then. Nicole looked at him half-jokingly. Nicole and Ike were chatting and laughing as they were walking to the parking lot outside. Thinking that Jared was not here to pick her up, Nicole looked around with a sense of disappointment swelling within her. Then, Ike said, it seems that Mr. Johnston isn't here. Before he could complete his sentence, a dazzling light beamed out and elongated Nicole and Ike's shadows. Jared got down from the car and looked at Nicole. Are you done with work? As soon as Nicole saw Jared, a happy smile appeared on her face. Just as she was about to walk toward Jared, she suddenly remembered that Ike was with her. She turned over and looked at Ike. It seems that someone has come to pick me up. I guess I won't be able to take a ride home with you today. Sorry. It's fine. I feel more at peace knowing that Mr. Johnston is here to pick you. Ike smiled, as he did not seem to be embarrassed at all. See you tomorrow. Nicole bade Ike a goodbye and walked toward Jared. Why didn't you tell me that you're picking me today? I almost left with Ike. Nicole glanced at Jared and ranted. I wanted to give you a surprise. Get in. Jared opened the door for her. Nicole and Jared both climbed in, after which Max started the engine and drove to the hotel. You worked till... Before Jared could finish his words, Nicole immediately interrupted him. I know. But I must let you know, the chip design which I'm working on currently is crucial. So, I'll be quite busy for the next few days. If I've ignored you in any way, I hope you would understand. Besides, this chip will be very important to you too. Nicole forced a smile as she offered him a serious explanation. The chip. Jared stared at Nicole's eyes and thought for a while. Okay then. Since you'll be pretty occupied with work, and that too for me, I've decided to send you to and fro every day. Are you happy with it? For real? Nicole did not expect Jared to make her such an offer, and for each and every day too. That's amazing. Yes, for real. But I might be flying home anytime. I'm not sure how for long I will be able to do this daily. Jared looked at her seriously. It's fine. Every trip counts. Nicole wrapped her arms around his with a smile on her face. You must have not eaten yet, right? What do you feel like having now? We'll head over there now. Jared asked her affectionately. It's been a while since I had meat puffs. Do they have it here? Nicole's big eyes were blinking as she looked at Jared. Jared furrowed his brows. Indeed, Nicole had thrown him a challenge this time round. Snacks like meat puffs were easily found everywhere back at home. But now that they were abroad, it would be quite a challenge to find them. Jared looked at Nicole with his brow raised. Are you really craving for it? Or are you just joking? Nicole sat up straight and looked at Jared, unsmiling. Do you think I look like I'm kidding right now? Seeing that Nicole was serious about this, Jared pursed his lips and ordered, Max, find a restaurant that has meat puffs. Sir, the nearest shop is 20 minutes away, Max informed. Can you wait for another 20 minutes? Jared asked Nicole. Yeah. Try and reach that place as quickly as possible, Jared instructed. All right. Max floored the accelerator and the car dashed forward like a bullet discharged from the barrel of a gun. At the restaurant, Jared ordered 2 portions of meat puffs, which Nicole began scarfing down on, as she could finally satisfy her cravings. Thank you for bringing me here to have meat puffs. Nicole looked at Jared happily. It's great to have him around. Even at an hour this late, I get to satisfy my cravings. What's with all that formality today? Jared raised his eyebrows and looked at her. It's already late, and yet you still took the time to take me to a place this far. Of course, I'd have to thank you sincerely. Nicole looked back at Jared, unsmiling. Jared nodded and sized her up. Was Ike with you while you were working today? Nicole was eating her meat puff, but once she had heard Jared's question, she slowly raised her head and looked at him. What is he trying to imply with that question? Does he think that there's something going on between Ike and me? No, I was at my office alone. He was working at the R&D department. Nicole explained. Jared Johnston, why would you ask if Ike was with me while I was working? Nicole threw the question back at him, as she wanted to see how he would respond. Oh, weren't the both of you working together in the factory yesterday? So, I assumed that the both of you might be working together today as well. Why are you questioning me in such a way? Jared quickly beat her to it, making her feel awkward as he knew what her intentions were. What kind of reason do you think I'd have? By the way, this meat puff is delicious. Have you tried it? Nicole immediately changed the topic of conversation to mask her embarrassment, as she was perhaps thinking too much into it. I had some already. It is quite delicious indeed. Jared replied with a smile. Oh yeah. Is there any progress when it comes to that investigation? Nicole asked Jared as she suddenly remembered about Henry's issue. Yeah, a little. You found Henry's hiding place? Nicole placed her fork down and stared at Jared. We haven't found him, but we've managed to find his wife, Jared said, not optimistic about this piece of information. Nicole noticed that Jared was expressionless, and that was when she knew that Jared had little hope for that lead. No worries. Although it's not an important piece of information, it's still better than nothing, right? Nicole flashed him a warm smile, comforting him. Yeah. Jared felt a lot better, as he saw that Nicole was attempting to comfort him. After they had eaten their meals, Jared took Nicole's hand and walked her out of the restaurant. Now under the moonlight, Jared looked at her. If these problems didn't exist, I'd have brought you to a place where it's just the two of us. That way, we can enjoy each other's presence. Hearing Jared's sudden confession, Nicole began to blush as she gave him a coy look. What's with the sudden idea? Staring deep into Nicole's eyes, Jared smiled. I don't know why. Perhaps, I was just in the moment. Anyway, let's head back. Jared maintained his hold and walked her to the car. The next morning, Harvey had gotten ready incredibly early. He was waiting for the driver that Nicole had arranged to pick him up, and from time to time, he would gaze down at the parking lot from his room. Although it was still early, his heart was already set on Nicole. All of a sudden, a knock came from outside his room, prompting him to walk over and open the door. "Hi, good morning." "Good morning, Mr. Harvey." Kelly greeted politely. "How may I help you?" Harvey asked. "Oh, I was afraid that you won't be able to wake up, so I came to check on you." Kelly smiled and studied him from top to toe, noticing that he was dressed very well. "As you're already awake, I guess I'll head back into my room now." Harvey was confused as he watched Kelly appear and disappear from the hallway in a split second. Then, he slowly closed his door. "What was that? She just came over to check and see if I'm up or not." Harvey thought out loud, still confused as to why Kelly had come and knocked on his door. After he had walked back to his room, he looked at the time. The car should be arriving in 5 minutes. Then, he looked at himself again in the mirror and walked out of the room, feeling satisfied. Harvey made his way to the elevator hallway and pressed the button, waiting for the elevator to arrive. It was at then that someone appeared beside him. Turning to his flank, a flash of shock crossed his eyes. "You're going out as well?" Harvey asked Kelly with his eyes widened. "Yes." Kelly smiled, not saying much. Harvey did not think much about it, as he simply remarked, "It sure has been really boring, just staying in the hotel for the past few days. It'll be great to go out for some fresh air." There was a ding and the elevator door opened. Kelly gestured for Harvey to enter first. Then, the two of them descended to the lobby together. Once they have walked out of the building, Harvey reminded Kelly, "Be careful when you're out there. Have fun." At that exact moment, a white SUV drove in slowly and pulled up in front of Harvey. The chauffeur came down, looked at Harvey and greeted him politely. "Are you Mr. Harvey Ellison?" "Lamb," Harvey replied. "I was sent by Ms. Riddle to pick you up. Please get in the car." The driver quickly opened the door for Harvey. Harvey was very satisfied with the driver's services. He felt that Nicole truly cared for him. Then, he got into the car and waited for the driver to close the door. After waiting for quite a while, the door was still open. Harvey looked at the driver and found him chatting with Kelly, and so, he called out to him. "Mister, let's go." The driver turned around and looked at Harvey. "All right." The driver closed the door for Harvey. Then, he brought Kelly to the other side of the car and opened the door for her, whereupon she got into the car. Harvey stared with his eyes wide as Kelly got into the car. He then asked, "Why are you getting in too? Isn't this car arranged by Ms. Riddle?" Seeing that Harvey was questioning her, she replied with one of her own. "Yeah. Then, that's right." "Mister, let's go," Kelly told the driver. The driver started the car engine and drove to the lab where Nicole was. As Harvey sat, he pondered about why Kelly was with him in the car as well as he kept staring at her. Kelly, noticing that Harvey was eyeing her from her periphery, flashed a smile. "Does Harvey have feelings for me? Mr. Harvey, is there something on my face?" Kelly popped the question, unable to help herself any longer. Upon hearing that, Harvey realized that his actions had offended her, and so he quickly explained, "Oh, there's nothing. I'm sorry, I was just curious." "Curious about what?" Kelly tilted her head and looked at Harvey, unable to understand what he had meant. "Just, why are you in the car with us now?" Harvey spilled the question he had been pondering about. "Oh, so it was about that," Kelly said, feeling disappointed. "I was in over my head, it seems. Ms. Riddle had asked me to help her out at the lab. As she had sent someone over to pick you up, she told me to hitch a ride with you," Kelly answered. "I see." Harvey twitched his lips. "Nicole did not mention this to me, and just like that, I've been embarrassed." Meanwhile, Jared had sent Nicole off to the laboratory. "We're here. I'm going in now." Nicole was about to step out of the car when Jared stopped her. "Did you forget something?" Jared leaned in closer with his cheek. Nicole looked at him shyly and gave him a quick peck on the cheek. Then, she waved at him, "Bye. I'll pick you up tonight," he said. Nicole nodded and walked up to the entrance. Just as Jared was about to leave, Harvey's car drove past. Harvey immediately recognized Jared's car, and he muttered, "Don't tell me he's here too." Hearing his muttering, Kelly asked, "Mr. Harvey, what were you saying?" "Nothing. Let's get down." Harvey glanced at Kelly, got out of the car and walked up to the entrance. Nicole was swiping her card at the door when Harvey walked up to her and greeted, "Morning." "Morning, you've arrived pretty fast, I see." Nicole said, not surprised at all to see Harvey. "Why didn't you tell me that Kelly will be coming along as well?" Harvey whispered to Nicole. "Why?" Nicole looked at Harvey with her brow raised. At that moment, Kelly came over with her face beaming. "Good morning, Ms. Riddle." "Morning." Nicole replied with a smile. "Let's get in." Nicole left Harvey behind and walked in with Kelly. Harvey could not say much. He only followed them from behind. Those we did not know who Harvey was would have thought of him as their personal bodyguard. The three of them made their way into the building, with Nicole striding off to her office while Kelly and Harvey followed behind her. When they had arrived at the office, Nicole sat down and prepared to work. Harvey looked at her and asked, "What should I do?" "You." Nicole looked at Harvey. "You can go ahead and find something else to do. Just don't bother me. That's all." "Hey, I'm the successor of the Ellison Group. Are you going to cast me aside just like that?" Harvey said, feeling that Nicole was being dismissive of him. "She did not even give me a chance to show her my skills." "No, that is not the point. I honestly do not know what kind of task to assign to you." Nicole brought her hands with her palms turned upwards and looked at Harvey. "Okay," he replied. "Perhaps I was being a little pushy there. You guys can continue with your work." As soon as Harvey was done talking, he walked to the corner opposite of Nicole's and sat down. "It's great that there's nothing for me to do. I can just sit here quietly and admire her from here." "Okay." Nicole turned her computer and began working while Kelly sat in front, assisting her. After half an hour had passed, Harvey asked Nicole, "Hey, how about a coffee break?" Nicole looked up, "Sure." Harvey got up and walked out of the office to prepare a cup of coffee for Nicole. It was then that Ike entered Nicole's office from the other side. "Hey, Nicole. Are you already working this early?" Ike asked, carrying 2 cups of coffee in his hands as he approached Nicole. Seeing that Kelly was there too, Ike placed one of the cups beside Nicole and handed the other to Kelly. "Thanks, Mr. Ike," Kelly said politely. Ike nodded. Then, he took the other cup of coffee and passed it to Nicole. "Take a break." "Thanks." Nicole took the cup of coffee from Ike and gave it a sip. "How is the design? Is there anything I can help you with?" Ike smiled at Nicole. "I just need to sort out some data, and after that, I'll be needing help from your team to proceed." Nicole looked at Ike. "All right. I can't wait." Ike looked at Nicole with a smile while Kelly was observing Ike's body language and expressions in secret. As Ike and Nicole were chatting, Harvey happily sauntered into the room with the freshly brewed coffee in hand. When he saw the back of Ike, the smile on his face faded. "Geez, I just stepped away to make coffee for a while, and I have already given Ike the chance to get close to her." Harvey could only pretend to be courteous toward Ike by walking in with a greeting. "Hi, Ike." Hearing someone calling his name, Ike whirled around to see who that person was. "Mr. Harvey, what are you doing?" Ike stared at the cup in his hand with his forehead creased. Harvey, noticing the expression on Ike's face, went on to explain, "I came here today with Nicole. I went out to make some coffee just now." As Harvey was talking, he made a beeline for Nicole. His eyes ranged over the desk and there, he found a cup of coffee. "I won't even have to guess that it was Ike who made her that." But Harvey left his coffee on the table anyway, and just as he was about to pass it to Nicole, Ike unexpectedly reached out and took it. "Thank you for the coffee, Mr. Ellison. Since Nicole has her own, I'll take this." Ike did not wait for Harvey's response and immediately took a sip, whereupon he complimented, "This coffee that you've brewed is pretty good, Mr. Ellison." Harvey tried to suppress his dissatisfaction and remain calm, but the frown on his face betrayed what he truly thought. Nicole felt awkward when she saw it. To buffer the awkwardness in the room, Harvey forced a smile at Ike. "I'm glad that you liked it." Then, Harvey walked to the other side and sat down. Noticing that Harvey did not pass her another cup of coffee, Ike could not help but smirk with satisfaction. Harvey took a seat and began to glare at Ike from the back, and as Kelly had noticed the murderous look on his face, she began to worry for Ike's safety. "Nicole, may I have a look at your design?" Ike requested as he looked at Nicole with gleaming eyes. "Sure, but don't put the blame on me if you can't understand anything," Nicole joked. "If I don't understand a single thing, that means there is much for me to learn from you," Ike said, his words carrying a hidden meaning. Nicole did not think too much into it, she only took it as a joke. On the other hand, Harvey, who was sitting at the corner facing Nicole, totally understood Ike's connotation. Harvey's glare became even more pronounced. That scumbag is actually thinking about learning from Nicole? Does he even know that he is out of her league? Look, these are the things I've been busy with for these few days. Nicole glanced at Ike and pointed at the computer screen. Ike then walked up to Nicole and leaned over. From Harvey's point of view, it seemed like he was about to hug Nicole. "Wow, this seems really complicated." Ike looked at the screen and frowned a little. Nicole chuckled, "To you guys, it definitely is a little too complicated. Yeah, I think out of everyone here in this lab, you're the only one who can do something like this." Ike looked at Nicole with eyes full of admiration. He was even more attracted to Nicole now. This lady not only has the looks, but also the brains. She really is charming. "I'm not as good as you think I am." Nicole looked at him humbly, feeling that Ike was giving her too much credit. "No, I'm not even exaggerating. I think I made a mistake earlier. You must be the most capable person I've met so far," Ike praised as he looked at her with his piercing black eyes. "It is said that the eyes are the most honest," he thought. Kelly could not bear to hear those words anymore, and so did Harvey Ellison, who was seated at corner facing her. He proceeded to stand up and interrupt the flirting between the two. "Ike, I'm not making fun of you. I get that your foundation is so huge, but do you really not have a single expert who can pull this off?" Ike turned around and looked at Harvey. "To be honest, even though we do suffer from a lack of professionals, there is nobody who could give Nicole a run for her money. She easily outclasses any other expert if we are going to make a comparison." "Oh, if you put it that way, yes. There is only one Nicole in this world after all. I doubt anyone could surpass her capabilities. Well, perhaps those who aren't even born yet," Harvey said and gave Nicole a smile. As Nicole was seated on the chair, the two men stood hovering over her like two towers glaring at one another. Feeling very uncomfortable in the middle, she stood up and walked over to Kelly, pretending to make conversation with her. "How's the organization of the data that has been handed over to you?" Nicole asked Kelly. "Data?" Kelly looked at Nicole with her head tilted. "She didn't ask me to sort the data out." With Harvey and Ike looking at Kelly at the same time, Nicole quickly gave Kelly a wink. Having understood what Nicole had meant, Kelly replied, I'm still organizing them. There are some places I can't understand. Could you please have a look at it with me, Ms. Riddle?" "Okay. Let me take a look," Nicole said, pretending to be interested in assisting Kelly in her work. Upon noticing that Nicole was going to be busy again, Ike tactfully said, "Degree, go ahead. I've been away for a while now. I think it's time for me to go back to work as well." "Okay." Nicole raised her head and glanced at him when she heard that Ike was about to leave. "Great, I just happened to want a cup of coffee." "I'm coming with you," Harvey said, urging Ike to leave and making it clear to the latter that they should not dally around. Then, he smiled and walked out of Nicole's office together with Ike. After the two men had left, both Nicole and Kelly breathed a huge sigh of relief. It's about time they leave. "Kelly, do you feel like there was an elephant in the room?" Nicole looked at Kelly with a brow raised. Kelly looked at Nicole and said, "Yes, I sensed it." The tension in the air was palpable. What do those two take me for? Nicole sighed. She stood up from Kelly's seat and returned to her own, after which she calmed herself down and started working again. Harvey then walked in with coffee. The office was quiet, barring the sound of the keyboard as Nicole typed away. Harvey glanced at her and saw that she was so focused on her work that she did not notice that Harvey had walked in. This left him with no other option but to return to his former position and sit down quietly as he watched her. He did not dare to disturb her. Nicole worked until noon came around. Feeling a little fatigued, she stretched her waist and looked at the time. It's noon already? Harvey immediately lifted his head when he heard Nicole asking him about the time. When did I fall asleep sitting? Let's go have lunch. Harvey stood up and looked at Nicole, stretching his body a little bit. Let's go then. Nicole glanced at Harvey and then at Kelly. Kelly, let's go and have lunch. All right. Nicole, Harvey, and Kelly made their way toward the restaurant while Ike was already waiting inside. When Ike saw Nicole walking in, he waved at her, prompting her to wave back. Harvey followed Nicole in, and upon noticing Ike's ingratiating tendencies, he began to seethe from deep within. In the restaurant, Nicole found a quiet spot where she took a seat, with Harvey and Kelly sitting directly across. Nicole, are you still going to the foundation later? Harvey said, wishing to talk to her more, as he did not have the chance to talk to Nicole all morning and during lunch. Yeah. What's up? You can't stay for much longer. Nicole asked, as she had noticed Harvey's look of boredom a few times during the morning, during which she would silently chuckle and leave him be. No. I'm very comfortable here. Harvey looked at Nicole, pretending to be relaxed. Still, he was worried that Nicole would find an excuse to make him leave. He was determined not to give Nicole any chance to kick him out of here. Really? Nicole looked at Harvey's expression with a smirk. Of course. Harvey flashed her a reluctant smile. Nicole glanced at Kelly, nodded, and continued to eat. Is there anything I could help with in the afternoon? Harvey did not want to lollygag and doze off on the chair like he did, as he did not want the time he had with her to be wasted on sleeping. Nicole looked at Harvey. Do you really want something to do? Yeah, it's just too boring, Harvey said, unsmiling. In response, Nicole continued eating, while she thought about what she could assign Harvey to work on. It was at this moment that Ike brought his plate and came over to sit next to Nicole. Why are you here later than usual today? Ike said, casually starting a conversation with Nicole. I was just too focused that I didn't notice the time. Nicole glanced at him and continued munching. Harvey shot Ike a stare dagger. Why is he here? Why is he everywhere? Why is he here having a chat with her when we're eating? It was then that Ike noticed that Nicole did not continue their conversation, and that her mind was elsewhere. What are you thinking about? I was thinking about what I could let him do, Nicole said without even bothering to sugarcoat the fact. Although she was more than fine with it, Harvey's expression began to sour. How can I allow Ike to see that part of me? The corner of Ike's mouth curled slightly, and he looked at Harvey with a smirk. If Mr. Ellison here feels bored and has nothing to do, I happen to have some trivial matters that are yet to be assigned to someone. Perhaps I can make you an arrangement if you'd like. Harvey looked at Ike's expression and quickly explained, that won't be necessary. It's not that I don't have things to do, but I felt that Nicole's work is a bit challenging. I just wanted to help her with it. Then, in order to weasel his way out of it, he looked at Nicole and said, since you have nothing to share with me, I guess it's all good. I was just worrying too much. Nicole looked at Harvey, who was suddenly singing a different tune, and felt that he was acting a little strange. He said he was bored just minutes earlier and now he doesn't want to help. What's his deal? Let's just eat. Harvey saw that Nicole was confused and changed the subject. He continued to eat in silence while Nicole and Ike continued engaging in a casual conversation in front of him. After lunch, Nicole and Kelly went back to the office. Harvey, who had not followed them, went to the pantry alone instead. The pantry was particularly empty. There was no one there as it was past lunch break. Everyone was busy working on their tasks in their own departments. Seeing this, Harvey went to the bar, poured himself a glass of wine, and took a sip while glancing around. This is a strange place, Harvey thought to himself while realizing that he was the odd one out who had insisted in staying just so he could spend more time with Nicole. He took another sip of his wine as he thought about how annoying Ike was and how much he hated him. He took another sip once more, and this time, he began thinking about what he could do to win Nicole over. After emptying the glass of its contents, Harvey placed it down and returned to Nicole's office. Nicole and Kelly both shot him a glance when he returned before they quickly returned to work. Harvey knew that they were busy with their duties, and so, he went and sat down on the same chair that he had previously occupied. He brainstormed ideas and ways he could start a conversation with Nicole. Nicole glanced at Harvey, noticing he was in a daze, and said, "Harvey, come here." Harvey was taken aback when he heard Nicole calling his name. He walked over to Nicole and asked, "What's the matter? Can you understand the data here?" Nicole opened a tab for Harvey to read. Maybe this is my opportunity to shine, he thought as he understood the data after catching a glimpse of it. "Yes," he said. "Can you really understand it?" Nicole asked, unable to believe it as Harvey looked her in the eyes and nodded. "Well, that's good," she said. "I made this data a little too hastily, so there might be errors in them. Can you sort it out for me?" Nicole had already thought of a suitable task to assign to Harvey while they were out getting lunch. She had deliberately teased Harvey in front of Ike to get a reaction out of him. If Harvey had accepted Ike's offer, she would have spoken up. "Of course I can. What should I use to help you organize?" Harvey looked around the office and noticed there were no spare computers for him to use. "I'll have someone bring a computer over right now. You can do your work on that table." Nicole pointed to the table he had been sitting at. "Okay." Nicole made a phone call, and not long after, a person with a computer came knocking on her door. "Come in," Nicole said. The man walked in and asked, "Ms. Riddle, here's the computer you asked for. Where shall I set it up?" Nicole pointed at Harvey's direction and said, "Set it up for him there on that table." "Okay." Soon, a brand new desktop was installed in front of Harvey, and the person left shortly after. Harvey turned the computer on and tried it, remarking, "It seems to be working fine, Nicole. I just need to sort the data you've given me." To ensure the safety of the data, Nicole exported it to a portable hard drive and gave it to Harvey. "Don't connect to the internet. The organized data are to be saved in this hard drive, and only in this hard drive," Nicole instructed with a serious look on her face. "Okay. Is this data for urgent use?" Harvey looked at Nicole and asked. "Not really," she replied. "You can organize it normally. If you come across parts that you don't understand, feel free to ask me. Don't make any assumptions." Thank you for listening. If you have enjoyed this story, please like and share so others can see it too. Also hit the subscription button and notification bell so you can be notified on our next release. Thank you for your support. God bless you.